Welcome to part 2 of this quick look at Classic Ultima Online. So, where we left off in the first video was going through some of the command differences. I think maybe talking was the last thing we looked at. Now volume, I think, is very much the same as the original. You can turn music off, but have the sound effects still enabled. Sound effects off with music enabled. Both disabled. And the default, both enabled. The stats, while very much like the original, are a little different, just in what is shown to you. And remember that you are only one character in this game, not the 8 different characters that you could have in the original. So let's see, I have some torches, a couple of reagents, so I can mix for cure, both 3. Let's see. Oh, I think these were letters in the original games, so I think I can say B and C. So you see how both are selected there. Hit enter. Number of mixtures, I'd like 2, please. And this is something that is different from the original. You had to, for every mixture you wanted, you had to walk through this step every time. Here you can just specify how many you want. So I wanted 2. It looks like maybe I got 2. 2 mixtures of the cure potion. Cure spell, that is. Alright. I think hitting Alt-Z, so no matter where you are, if you hit Alt-Z, it goes back to the main screen of your stats. I think that's it for command differences. Now there are a few other additions to this version of the game. The first is a built-in map, so I think that's Shift-M. Nope, sorry, Alt-M. Actually, maybe that doesn't work from within a town. I was just outside and I think it was working. There we go. So when you're outside, hit Alt-M and you can get a quick look at the cloth map that came with the original Ultima 4 game. Alright. So let's take a look at merchants in this game. So again, you have kind of a menu system now, but I believe all of the original keystrokes that you might have made in Ultima 4 carry across to here. So yes, I would like some reagents. I don't know what. I want some sulfurous ash. How many would you like? 3? Sure. You pay. I'm going to pay 6 gold. So you may notice there that it says you feel more virtuous. This is just a little something that was added to the game to let people know that they're doing good things or bad things. It's possibly a little bit of a cheat compared to the original Ultima 4, but the feedback, I think, improves the game a little. Let's take a look at the inn. Yes, I need a lodging. We have a room with 2 beds. Yes, I will, please. So here, unlike Ultima 4, you actually are placed into the bed. And I believe while you're sleeping, so I think this is something like 30 seconds, maybe a minute, while you're in bed you are healing. You'll also notice a little icon up at the top right of the playing screen. You see some little Z's there, that shows that you're asleep. Many of the effects show up in the top right, so I think if you're starving you'll see a little icon for food. If you have a torch lit you'll see a little fire. I think eventually I'll wake up here. I think I can also get out of bed at any time, but yeah, I was going to let it go ahead and play through there. So there we go. And I didn't really need to heal, but I would have if I needed to. Let's see. Oh yeah, so one other major difference from the original Ultima was that if you played on Commodore 64, for instance, and this look for the game is going to be quite different for you. In fact, this is not the original look for Ultima at all. This is a tile set created by Josh Steele, and with some Ultima 5 tile sets, I believe, from PC. Now, so if you hit the function keys, I think, F1 through F3, you can switch to different versions of the game. And so this is the PC tile set. F3 gives you the Commodore 64 tile set. And it even switches music tracks as well, so this is the Commodore version of the music and tiles. Now you may notice the border did not change. You can actually edit the border graphic that comes with this game if you want to switch that out. And the patcher won't overwrite that. It won't detect that you've modified that file and overwrite it. It just lets you make your changes. This also has the blocky tile version of the game where you cannot see what you're standing over. So even though I'm standing over some bush tiles here, if I go back to this version, you can see that there are bushes behind my character, but in the other mode you cannot see that, which is like the original game. Alright, so I'm gonna head out now. Now the moon phases do change. They're quite a bit slower than what you would find in the original game. And the reason is, if you go through a moon gate and you have a group of people with you, you kind of want enough time for that moon gate to be open, so that the other players can get through and still end up in the same place that you are. So it's about to come along, I believe. Now, people very familiar with Ultima 4 know that there are a few special things about this spot right here, and I'm not going to reveal any of that, but the moon gate has opened. What I'm going to do is wait for the second moon phase to change, because I know by looking at the map that's the destination that I want to get to. So here we are at the castle, and this is where we will continue off next time. Again, thanks for watching.